Okay, so I know that it is 5 after the hour, so I want to get started. For those of you who are here, I really appreciate your time being here. I know that everyone's busy, and I'm sure everyone is in different time zones. So I really appreciate your time. My name is Lisa Money. I am the Lisa Carroll Money. I am the sales engineer for S Drive at SignGate. And I will be walking us through kind of an overview of S Drive, a little bit of a demo, and then I see a few more people coming. And then also just a portion where we can answer questions. So if you have any questions that come up, feel free to enter them in the chat and we will get to those at the end of the meeting. Also in the chat, I've put, as I stated, I put my contact information for you to schedule a meeting with me, for you to email or call me if you have any questions that come up later. We are recording this meeting, so that will be available to everyone tomorrow. So keep that in mind. If something comes up, you can always come back to something we reviewed and see it from there again. Okay, so just to start, I wanted to give an overview in general about S Drive. S Drive is a product from SignGate. So you may hear me say SignGate or S Drive interchangeably, but S Drive itself has been an app on the App Exchange since 2009. We've been doing document management for a long time, and we've been continually putting out new releases and working on our product to make it better for our clients. And really listening to what people need and what they would want in the future. Sorry, I'm trying to find my PowerPoint on my mini monitors here. Uh, this is kind of what we will be reviewing. Some of the general benefits of S Drive is, of course, the cost efficiency. A lot of times with Salesforce, you have issues with cost due to storage limits. And that is definitely a benefit with S Drive. It's very user friendly. If you know Salesforce, then it's very straightforward. It looks just like Salesforce. There's added security, and you can organize your files in a folder structure, unlike Salesforce, which is an added benefit. With S Drive, our clients use their storage in AWS, and we are as scalable as AWS. So if you have any storage concerns, we pretty much can meet those issues. Our only limitation is no individual files over 5 TB. Anything other than that, there are no limitations. So no limit in total size of storage or individual files below that 5 TB. So that's a big benefit for people. These are some of our features to review. I'll let you sort of look over these a little bit and then we'll talk through them more. We have file synchronization, which allows you to easily send your documents from Salesforce into S Drive, and then it will delete them if you want from Salesforce, so that you're not paying for them with storage in Salesforce. Again, you can create folder structures, which is great. You can create shortcuts. So your one file can be in 2 different locations and you're only paying for the storage in one location. You can publicly share content securely with anyone. That can be outside users. They can be people who don't no Salesforce at all. So that's something that's really handy. You can have a URL, send it to someone in the email, do that securely, and even set the guidelines for exactly how secure you would like that to be. We have file level access control. So any sort of access permissions that you would have in Salesforce, that goes across into S Drive as well. We are HIPAA compliant, and you can store files under standard and custom objects in S Drive. We will talk a little more about the optional features, and we do have an upcoming feature later this month, which is eSignature integration. I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. One of our add-on features is our records management. Records management includes 3 different kind of features inside of it. It includes retention policy, which it means that if you have certain documents that you need to get rid of after a particular period of time, then you can do that automatically. So for example, if you need to get rid of tax documents after 7 years, then the system can automatically go through and delete all of those every single night after that 7-year mark. And you can dictate what type of files, where the files are, and the time frame as well. We have check-in and check-out. What that allows you to do is if you have someone editing a Office 365 document, you can select to check it out so that other people know that you're working on it. And then when you check it back in, then they'll be able to see that. They'll see someone is editing, that it's locked, and then when it's available again. And then the last one of records management is legal hold. So if you have a subpoena or a review of some sort of documents that you need looked at and you need to not no one to touch those documents, then you can put them in a legal hold so that no one can change those and no one can delete those accidentally. So that's all part of the records management option. We also have online content authoring. That's another one of our optional features. What that allows you to do is go in and edit Office 365 documents. So Word documents, PowerPoint, and Excel documents. It allows you to go in to edit the document from within S Drive. And so what that helps is that you can have multiple people working on a document, one after another, and they're not having to download that onto their local machine. It's much more secure, and it, of course, saves time. This is a little bit about our architecture. One of our best benefits is our security. What this basically describes is that our customers use AWS for their storage. And so they are the owners of their data. We do not have access to your data. You control all of that. You have your own portal, you have your own account. And the only information that we get is about your usage, your storage usage. Other than that, we have no access. You have to, even for like a support ticket, you would have to explicitly grant us access to be able to go into your org at any time. I'm going to mention just briefly about eSignature. As I mentioned earlier, we have eSignature coming out later this month with DocuSign in particular. We are working to get other eSignature tools available. I see one more person. So we are working on others as well, but we will have DocuSign available. What that will allow, of course, is just continue adding saving of time, improving your security. So again, people aren't downloading and uploading files just to sign. they can keep it all within S Drive. And then completing your audit trail. One of the features that we have with S Drive is being able to see versions of your documents. So for example, if you have a Word document and then you edit it in S Drive and you upload it again or you save it, then you would be able to see the two versions of that same document. With the eSignature option, now you will be able to do the same thing, but with DocuSign. So you can see what the document is, maybe what it was before the person signed it, when that was, and then also when the person signed it, and have that version history there all for you together. And now I'm going to just get into a brief demo for you. Again, please, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I will get to them, if not right at, right when you ask them, at least toward the end. So this is what S Drive looks like. For those of you who are familiar with Salesforce, it looks very similar to Salesforce. So it's very user-friendly. It almost looks like you're just in there. So S Drive is a component within Salesforce, and we have it listed here, but you can have the component wherever you like. So just keep that in mind, but it is very user-friendly if you're used to Salesforce. So I'm going to go over kind of an example of how you would be able to use Salesforce and kind of the benefits, and give you an example so you can kind of see for yourself what it would look like. So here we have American Banking Corp as our account. As you can see, we have our folder structure here. This tab allows you to do multiple different things to your documents easily. So we have the home tab, which will take you directly here to your root page. We have upload and download. So I can show you here. We'll upload a file. Let's see. And then we have the file here listed. Once you have that, you can select multiple files or folders, and you can email them. You can send them in a public share link, which I'll go over. You can have a new folder and create folders in whatever structure needed. You can put them in, delete them, or put them in the recycle bin, and you have options for that also. You can cut, copy, paste. You can also attach and create shortcuts as well. Let's see. Another thing that's nice is that you can see your folder structure from this page. So for example, if you know you want to go to this images folder, you can select that here directly instead of having to go to the home and then the accounting and then the images and then the particular document image. And you can also hide this or leave it open. And you can always go back to the root based off the breadcrumbs that are here. Let's see. Also from here, you have multiple options. A lot of them are the same from the ones at the top here, but it's also nice to have them as a drop down. You can also customize added options here for this drop down. For example, here we created open S Drive support ticket. So if I click on this, it will take me directly to open a support ticket. So that's something if you have somewhere where you typically need to go on a frequent basis with certain types of files, you can do that and have that option. You can write from here, you can edit uh, your documents. You can save right from within here. And then once you go back, it will have it already changed for you. You can also have different things showing here to see what you would like to see. So you can say all of these things here are options. Um, I'll let you look at those, but it's nice to be able to have that option. If you want your layout to look different, you can have that. Your administrator can set it up so it looks different for different people. So that's a nice option. We also have a feature, which I haven't talked about yet, which is preview and thumbnail. So let's see. It's just kind of a different layout for you. And we also even have like an icon layout as well. What this allows is for you to see it larger, even when you're from kind of like the base level. Um, and again, once you're in here, you have the flexibility for Office 365 documents to edit as well. If you have online editing users, you can edit the properties as you can with any type of document in S Drive. But you can also, for example, here, you can open in Excel. And it will take you to Excel. And then you can go and edit whatever you need to. And I'll show you that it will show you the different versions that we have. Oh, I think I'm just scrolled over. Okay. Okay. So if I want to change the look of this document, I can do that. It will automatically save, so your users don't have to remember to save. And then let's see. Then I can, so this is showing me that I, Cyangate, am editing the document and that this document is locked because I'm in the document. And if we go here and refresh, we'll be able to see our document again. I believe it was here. Yes. And it will show you the versions of your document as well. So you can go here to audit. And depending on what types of information you'd like to see, you can see the different types of activity and when that was completed. We have a lot of different options within our configuration page. So there are a lot of customizations about how you do things, how you want it set up, and that's all within that configuration page. Another thing that I'd like to just mention is that we have a S Drive tab here, which you can rename, and you can rebrand S Drive for your company. But this S Drive tab is a tab where you can put any sort of document that isn't necessarily connected to a particular record. So if you have general marketing documents or something that's company-wide, you can have that all be here, and then it doesn't have to be put in, under a specific case, for example, that can all be listed here. I'll go back here. And again, we have our preview and thumbnail options. As we can see, again, we can see the history here. And I'll show you with this one as well, because the other one was loading. Okay. But it still has been locked in editing, so you can see that. One thing I can show you also is the ability to use public share. For example, here we have this image. If we want to send that to someone securely outside of Salesforce, outside of our internal org, we can do that here. We can choose for them to only be able to download or to have advanced access. We can select as much access as we want to give them. We can use a password. We can give them an expiration date. We can set an IP range. We can do all of that right from here before we send it. And then we'll have the URL. We can send it to our customer. And this currently says S Drive, but this again can be branded for your company. And here I have this document that I can see just like I saw inside S Drive. And here you'll notice all of these options here. You can see the versions, you can upload, delete, edit, download, and open. That's because those are the options that I selected in the previous pane where I was giving the access. So if, for example, if I didn't give access to delete, then this trash can would be sort of muted or grayed out. So that's something that's nice. You can give external users the option to do certain things for certain documents and have access, increase or decrease access for other types of documents. One of the other things that we have, which is nice, is I talked about briefly shortcuts. So here we're at the opportunity level for cash flow. If we want to create a shortcut there, let's say we want it on our account of American Banking, not just the opportunity. We can have that created. So we have here cash flow statement for opportunity, and then we can go in here to our account and we can see it in our account now as well. See, and you can notice it here, this cash flow statement is here and it has the shortcut. This little arrow shows you that it is a shortcut. So again, you're paying for essentially the storage one time instead of paying it for it two times, but you're able to easily access it in two different locations. I know I mentioned the configuration, but one of the things that you can do with our configuration is set up an opportunity or any object folder structure. So for example, we've set up this whenever you create a new opportunity, you can say set up the manufacturing type of record. Once you do that, we'll see this folder structure is already set up. We have that displayed here. We can create another uh, opportunity. Oh, sorry. And here we can select one of our other options that we set up. And I believe this was our, yeah, this is retail. Now we have this, and this has a completely different folder structure set up. So that's a nice option for you to use as well. Um, yeah, so I did want to also talk about how as soon as we release the DocuSign feature, that will be a straightforward configuration, just like our other uh, items in our configuration page. So this is tough to see, but it'll be in our configuration setup. Essentially, it'll say disabled or enabled. And right now we have it will be a DocuSign. In the future, there will be others, but it's a simple check on and off or radio button. This is how it will look here. Just as you can see those drop down options, there will be an additional ones to send for eSignature. And then just as we can see those versions, it'll show you the versions for the sent document and then the received document. So essentially unsigned and then signed. So that will be clear. It will all be located within the same file version history, so you can see it clearly. And you can see, what was sent first, what was received in that order. So I know I reviewed a lot of things and just had kind of a high level overview, but I would like to see what questions you have, what things have come up that you're curious about within S Drive. Feel free to put that in the chat, or I'm not going to call on anyone, but I've been known to do that. Um, I will mention until we get a chat message, I will mention here that you can also set up carousels, you can do reporting. So for example, if you want to see how many downloads you had of a certain file, you can do all of that here from your home page, just as you would in Salesforce. I will briefly go over our configuration page for those who are interested in getting into the granular customizations within S Drive. These are lots of different things you can do. This is when you want to see different types of file activities, these are all the different things that you can see. So for example, if you want to see every time someone opened a document, you can choose to see that only. Or if you want to see when they open it and when they upload it, you can choose to do that as well. This is where we're doing the expiration date. Tags, we also have tags. So if you want to enter in, this document, all of these documents are for taxes 2021. You can enter that as a tag. You can bulk tag multiple items. And so then that becomes something that's searchable in the global search, even if it's not in the title of the document itself. This is our retention policy where you can go in and decide what you want to be deleted if you want that, and how frequently, if you want it after a day or after 10 years or whatever the case may be. That's all. You can specify all of that. Yeah. I see that we had someone chatting on Hill. Here. And I will also just, while they're getting that, sorry, this, something to notice is our, how do I sign up for eSignature, James? Yes. So what you will do is essentially we have our eSignature in beta now. We have it set up. We're just waiting on our partnership to give us the go ahead. And once we have that, you will just install the new version of S Drive with that add-on, and you'll have a license with DocuSign. And then you will be able to select that checkbox that says essentially enable DocuSign, and that will automatically set up that send to for eSignature option. There will not be any additional cost from our side. That will be included in our out of the box option. And Angel, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Are you able to give a demo on how to set up the folder structure? For example, different folders for different record types. Yes. So that can be, that's all part of our configuration setup. So you're essentially setting up kind of like a flow for your different folders in your opportunities or accounts or uh, wherever you'd like it. One thing I have put in the chat is a link for you to set up a meeting with me individually. So if you have any specific things you'd like to go over particularly, you can do that. And we'll be able to go through every single line item that you need. One thing I was just going to mention here on our website, you are able to look at pricing. We have our pricing structure set up. I see James asked about the eSignature feature costs. So you would have a license with DocuSign, and you would pay us for storage, but you wouldn't have any additional cost from us. It would be all included. This is actually shows our pricing. You get the first gigabyte for free, and after that you pay a certain amount depending on what level of storage you're at. So the first 1 to 5 gigabytes, for example, is $10 per gigabyte. But once you get up to terabytes, you're only at 50 cents per gigabyte. So this which is here at the top, pricing, it will show you an exact breakdown. So if you have a terabyte of storage, if you want to have preview and thumbnail, you can. You have to enter in as much as you think you would need for conversion. One thing to mention about that also is For preview and thumbnail, we charge based off of the conversion for the preview and the thumbnail. But once you have a particular document that you're using preview and thumbnail on, when you're keeping that in S Drive, you're paying for it one time. And when you keep it there, you're not paying for it again. So once we've already converted it, we're not charging you for it every month. It's just the initial month where you put it in. We have that records management option, which is $500 a month. And then we have our online editing users, which come in packages of 10, and that is $5 per person. So you can kind of easily see here, if you have an idea of what your storage is, you can get a quick idea of what your cost would be. So that's something to definitely go in and look at. We also have here, which is really helpful, the resources link. I'm sorry, I see James, can we see a version of the file before it was edited online? Yes. So you will be able to see a version of your file. You would be able to see your file from the beginning, and then after it's received with a signature. You'll be able to see all of those versions. Again, here on our website, we have resources. One of the most helpful ones is our documentation. We also have video tutorials for those who prefer the visual side of things, like myself. The documentation is really robust. So almost any question you have has probably been discussed in detail here. For example, if you want to look at file sync, then you can do it based off of the release that you're at, or if it will be new, then it would be the most recent one. And then lots of documentation about step-by-step how to do it, what to look for, things like that. So let's see. We also have opening a support ticket, like I showed in the dropdown. So one of our big features, I think, is our support team. We have a development team in Turkey, in Ankara, Turkey. And so they are 7 hours ahead of East Coast. So they're available much of the time. And then after they're done, then the East Coast customer support rolls in. So we have someone responding to this many hours a day, every day, and even on weekends for emergencies and things like that. And you can open a support ticket at any time. If you have S Drive or not, if you're a paying customer or not, we have this set up for everyone to use it. So if you're just testing in Sandbox and you have a technical question come up, you can come in here right away and ask that question and get a response from a technical person from our team who knows this app inside and out. Let's see. I think one other thing that I wanted to mention is that we have S Drive is free to download into your Sandbox. So if you want to get a feel for S Drive yourself, if you want to kind of test a little bit and see how it looks and feels for you, then you're free to download that. Even in production, the first gigabyte of storage is free. And Sandbox, all storage in Sandbox is free. If you use preview and thumbnail in Sandbox, we have to charge for those conversions. But other than that, everything in Sandbox is free. And I can let you know if we have a particular amount. I believe it's 50 preview and thumbnails that are allowed even in Sandbox for free. But that's something that's an option here. And you can go here as well in App Exchange and see our reviews. Also, there are videos and things here for just so you can see. Okay. I know that I've been taking up some time, so I just wanted to give a little bit more time for any final questions. Um, Again, my contact information is at the beginning of the chat, and Angel, if you hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. If you would like, you can put your email in here, or I will just follow up with you anyway after this so we can talk specifically about setting up a folder structure in whichever object you need. Okay. Ravi, Sarah, Divya, please let me know if you have any questions or any other people that um, I'm not sure which company you're with. Again, as I said, feel free to contact me. My email is here. It's L like Lisa and money, like the word money, at Cyangate, which is CYANGATE.com. You can email me. You can call me with that phone number information. We would like to set up a demo with any of you to talk about your specific pain points and needs, and answer any additional questions that come up for you. And this webinar will be available on our YouTube as of tomorrow. And I will be following up with you to see what other questions you have to come up or see when you can meet and talk. All right, so let me see if there are any final questions. No questions, Divya. Okay, thank you so much, Divya. That's very kind of you. Yes, we are very excited about eSignature. You know, we want to make S-Drive not just document management, but sort of a one-stop shop for documents. So, you know, creation, editing, form generation, e-signature, we're planning to get there so that it's your one-stop shop for documentation, management of all sorts within Salesforce. So we're really excited about it. And I think it will be a great way to integrate, save more time, save more money, save more hassle, and be more secure. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I thank you very much. I know everyone's time is worth a lot these days, so I really appreciate your time. Feel free to follow up with me, and if not, I will follow up with you. I see Berchuk is messaging. Okay, thank you, Berchuk. Berchuk is our on our marketing lead, and she's very helpful. Uh, so thank you as well. We appreciate it, and I will be in touch with many of you very soon. Thank you. Have a great day.